Hey everybody, shop update. So since I saw you last, we have had a bunch of things finish up. Ceiling's done in black. They did a great job. We only got 3 of the lights up. I got those are the Lithonia high bays. So I have 3 more to put up. They just showed up the other day. I got a lot of the switches, a lot of the boxes, a lot of the control stuff to put on. So these are on, door openers are finished. All the electrics on them, they work, which is super nice. All the wall steel is also completed. I think installation, in-floor's on, that's the biggest thing. So I was doing payroll there 2 weeks ago and I had almost everything done. The plumber had done the wall, he had done all the piping. I'll bring it around. There it is right there, all the boiler stuff. So he had done I hung the boiler. I had my plumber come in and put all the piping in for the in-floor. And then I called Ty, my gas guy, and I was like, man, I'm trying to do payroll and I can't feel my fingers. So he came out the next day, turned on, had the propane company come and bring out the tanks, set that up. So it is a comfortable about 62 here, which I could almost turn down a little bit, because we were working in there the other day and it was almost too warm. But I'll get used to it as I go. So what else we got in here? I got Uncle Ron's out here finishing off the inside. So we do have the little storage room right here. The office is in over here. And so he is putting, I'll show you a better view over here. Actually, this is what it's gonna look like. So we have our 9-inch pine, which we got locally. It's kiln dried. I almost went and bought something from just a regular local mill. And then one of the carpenters I work for said, if you're gonna put it in your shop, make sure you spend a little extra money, get your kiln dried material. So this has you can see it, but that's the pattern on it, almost a little rough. The camera really doesn't do it justice, but it is beautiful. So that'll be from here up. And then I have a bunch of this corrugated steel from my other shop. So we're gonna take that down from the other building and have a few sheets, and that'll continue here. Then I'll just order some solid white construction doors, nothing crazy. The lathe and the mill and all my heavy equipment has moved over. So we had, I moved this stuff in originally myself. And there were times where I was like, I am not the person that should be doing this. So this time I actually hired a company. They came in, 2 guys. They moved everything over. They're super nice. The bill wasn't that bad, but to be honest, after spending that money, I went out and bought the roller set. So I bought the 4-piece roller set. Neighbors got a forklift. I probably would have just done it myself, and I probably should have. Not that they did a bad job, but when they didn't carry my equipment as well as I thought they would. They did drop my large, so they dropped the 4-ton gantry on its side because they didn't have the right straps and right equipment to move it. The lathe, surprisingly, they did pick up on the belly, and there's only 1 scratch on the back side, but it could have been just a little more finesse. I think these guys move about, 30, 40, 50-ton machines. So when it becomes something smaller, I'm going to only assume it should be easier, but I think maybe sometimes the smaller stuff might be a little more harder for them. What else we got going on? So that's my rant on moving stuff. I did pick up some nice blue bins for the storage room. So we were driving back from a job site, and if anybody's ever priced these out, these ones here alone are $20, about $20, $21 Canadian. And then varying prices are here. So I grabbed a whole bunch of these for a really cheap price. We were coming back from a job. My apprentice actually noticed. He's like, hey, there's got bins at the yard sale. So they had them listed for, so much a piece. And I said, hey, will you take this much for the whole lot? And he said, sure. Last night I got here and did some of the strapping. Ron comes back next week to finish up. So I had to get all my boxes. So no vapor barrier required because the vapor barrier is in the back. So, but I got all my 20s on there, my TV plug, my Ethernet. What else has been going on? I also set up a Ubiquiti Wi-Fi system here. That's been really nice. I finally got it. We are in the rural area, so we don't have the greatest internet, and I'm, a lot of the viewers that are in rural know how much it sucks. The internet is crap. So I went and got Starlink. That's been really nice. Even though I hate giving money to, those big corporations, but that's life. Everybody's bigger than me anyways. So we got the Ubiquity set up, and that's been really handy. I had these locks put in last week, and they are Wi-Fi. These are the Schlage locks. Sorry, what I did. Yeah. So the Schlage Wi-Fi locks, I think I paid close to $400 a pop, but they're amazing. Perfect example, we had a hockey tournament today. So I'm driving my son's hockey tournament, and the neighbor calls and says, "Hey, I got this shaper for you. Can I drop it off at your house?" And I said, "Well, I'm not there." And he says, "Well, I got it on the tractor. I can bring it down right now." And I said, "Well, let me unlock the door." So while my wife was driving, I'm in the passenger seat, I could bring up my phone, hit a button, and the door automatically locks remotely. Now, I know to the younger people that are built in and grew up with technology, this is like an everyday occurrence. But for me, it's pretty impressive. You're like, "Oh yeah, Kevin, I'll just hit this button and you can bring it in." So he brought this Walker Turner Shaper. That was his dad's. His dad passed away, and he's had it stored in his barn for a few years. So it's not in the greatest shape. It's had barn love. So we got some rust on the top, and I'm really bad at the camera here today. I apologize. Need some cleanup. Full of sawdust. And then he also brought over a wood lathe. So I've never owned a wood lathe, but now I own a wood lathe. So down there, that's the copy attachment. And I haven't owned a wood lathe since high school, since Mr. Woods, who was missing a couple fingers. Super nice guy though. So they'll go up there. So that ceiling's done too, by the way. The walls aren't done yet. I still have a lot to finish, but that's what we got going on. So hopefully, once I calm down from the mess, which is all my tools are everywhere. There's the van. But once I calm down from the mess and get everything kind of back the way it should be, I think the first project I'll actually try to film from start to finish will be my metal railing. So I need railing. I priced out some railing. It was $5,000 to have somebody come in and put a wrought iron railing in. So I called my local steel, Steelco, and figured out the material I needed, and it's like $600 of material. So $600 material, welder and a grinder, and I'm thinking probably about 20, 30 hours we should have it up and installed. I have to call my buddy and get some 4-inch plates made for the bottom. But I think that'll be the first project we'll probably try to film. Maybe start to finish, but we'll see. I'm new to this old camera thing, but either way, take care. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.